Save the Babies, the cognitive conundrum that is framing effects, presented by me, Dalia Salazar. Our story begins with Mark. Mark is married to Elise and they have a child together. Mark has just been recently promoted to head of the medical research department at UCLA. While at work one day, Mark's co-worker John informs him of a disease outbreak that has occurred in Eastern Europe. The disease is speculated to kill hundreds of babies if nothing is done about it. Mark contemplates what to do to combat the disease. He tries everything he can think of, but to no avail. Nothing seems to work. He considers giving up. Finally, after days of research, he creates a program that would work to combat the disease. However, he quickly realizes that the program will not work on everybody. The next day, Mark decides to present his findings to his boss and let the cards fall where they may. He informs her that he has created a program that will cure the disease. However, if the program is adopted, it will not work on 60% of those diseased. 60% of the babies will die. She decides that the outcome is not worth the funding and rejects his proposal. Devastated by the rejection, Mark decides to meet up with his good friend Sean, who just so happens to be the head of the cognitive psychology department at UCLA. Mark explains what occurred at the meeting. "You're so dumb," Sean states. Baffled by the statement, Mark demands an explanation. Sean explains that Mark was wrong in his word choice during his presentation. He fell victim to the effects of framing. Framing effects occur when the wording of a statement affects the way people react, such that people answer differently depending on how a question is formatted. If we were to present a person with two options, one of which was a 100% chance of winning $50 and the other being a 50-50% chance of winning $100 or winning nothing, most people would choose option 1. This is because people are risk averse when it comes to gains. If instead we were to present people with options of either a 100% chance of losing $50 or a 50-50% chance of losing $100 or losing nothing, they would most likely choose option 2. This is because people are risk-seeking when it comes to losses. Motivated by his talk with Sean, Mark decides to give presenting his program another shot. This time he goes to the head of the medical research department at USC because he believes they would be more susceptible to accepting his idea. He tells her that his program will work on 40% of those that are diseased. 40% of the babies will be saved, he says. Liking the odds, she decides to fund his program. As Mark's program was implemented throughout Eastern Europe, babies everywhere began to survive the disease. Through the power of framing effects and Sean McAuliffe, hundreds of babies were saved.
Created using Powtoon.